It could be a holiday greeting. It could be anything that you want. It doesn't matter. But just sort of staying in touch with them would be very beneficial. See, direct mail is one of the best ROIs you're ever going to spend, especially when it goes to your database. And the reason for that is this. If you have roughly 100 people on your direct mail database, all 100 of them are going to get that piece of mail, regardless if it's a postcard or a letter. If they pick up this piece of mail and they throw it in the trash, big deal. They just physically engaged with you, which is great.
So, but I've been mailing now for 14 years. So, it took a long time to get there. So don't overthink it. I started with just 500 homes. And here, I'll show you where we've gotten, so where we are right now, so that you can have a better understanding of what that looks like, what you should be shooting for, because I strongly believe in mailers, because I get to interview some of the most amazing agents. And I can tell you, those agents that have a business that is now a career, they have two things that they do often. Number one is they build relationships through constant communication. And the other one, believe it or not, is some type of mailing.
So this is what my kids and I did for probably 2 years nonstop. The third year, I became #1 in my town. But I did this, I walked door by door myself. A lot of people want to pay somebody, a company to do this, but I wanted to meet people and talk about their homes, and I wanted them to meet me and have an opportunity to sell myself. So this was honestly the most successful mailing that I did in my whole entire career. And if I can go back to this, I will do it.
I just didn't want to be one of those cookie cutter people that would just send these boring postcards that people look at and throw away. And so when I went with your clinic, it was like, okay, she's got something here. And that's when I just decided to dive in.
The best investment. Decided to join one of your boot camps, and I was just hooked from there and decided to join your coaching group in the mailer clinic. I received, I think, what was it we talked about? The very first mailer I sent out, I received 2 CMA requests in the neighborhood behind me that nobody was farming. And both of those were between 1.3 and 1.5 million. Blew me away.
I'm one of those, you have to write it down, have to cross it out. If it doesn't get done, you put it back on the list to get done. And I've getting most of it done, but it's like, because there's so much and you get so much out of the mailer clinic and the camp, it's like, okay, where do I begin? Where do I start? I want to do it all, but no, I need to focus on one thing. And I'm one of those, I'll dibble in this, dibble in that. And then I'm like, okay, I'm stuck. And then that's when I reach out to Janine, and then she puts me back in line. It's like, well, let's figure it out. Let's make it work. And that's the thing I like about it, because you're not going to get that everywhere, but it was amazing. And now I'm working on getting that out to get that going. Plus my other little checkoff list is that I have to do.
Actually, it's amazing. So you can do so many things besides the mailers that you can work into your business. It's just great.
Thing that I like that I really couldn't, like, everybody's got great ideas, and I do, some other coaching stuff, and it's like, it's all really good, but I think with yours more so than other ones is, it's up and running. Like, you give us the format, and we don't have to do everything. It's like a piece.
Janine Sasso is a terrific trainer, educator, realtor, and I'm very happy to know her.
It's very cool that she's created everything for you that you can take and tailor make into your own branding and attract your tribe.
You just took us through every single step. You have so much that you're offering. Crazy. You really do. I don't know how you do it. I don't need to know. You're doing it. Amazing.
They're just like, what do I do? Where do I start? If someone really wants to do it, the boot camp is at the foot in. You show us step by step how to do it.
It is an unbreakable strategy that has worked for decades. You can enhance it however you want. You can enhance it with social media. You can enhance it with door knocking. You can enhance any strategy, but at the core, you have something that's unbreakable. And I really want you to have an unbreakable business for 2023. Who in here is saying, I want an unbreakable business? Let me know in the comments right now. Good morning, everybody. How are we doing? Okay, I still have terrible lighting, still working on that part, but I'm excited for this one because I have been trying to figure out how can I deliver more value, more free content your way that's actually not fluffy. So first things first, I do have one quick poll, and while I pull up my slides, I would love for you to answer this one real quick. Did you join us in the most recent mailer bootcamp? If you can just take a quick, super short minute and do me a favor and vote on that. Thank you, thank you, thank you. That would be amazing. And then we're gonna see where that one comes in. Awesome, awesome. We'll do it a couple more. Actually, we got a pretty good completion rate. Did you join us in the most recent mailer bootcamp? Which was just this week, by the way. All right. Closing voting in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And all right, we had 30.8% saying yes and 69.2% saying no. Good news is that regardless if you joined us or not, you're gonna get a ton of value out of this. Okay, so I'm excited for that one. So I did pull up my screen here. Let me make it bigger so everybody can see it. And thanks for joining me on Saturday. This is where some of you are having work time. It is recorded, so yes, you will have a replay available for 48 hours only. So if you have to jump off, don't worry. Feel free to use the chat. I do try to monitor it on the webinar room itself. And let's talk a little bit about my personal favorite topic, which obviously is mailers. I love talking mailers, and reason being is that is one of the ways I built my business pretty efficiently, pretty fast. So this webinar I titled Mailers, the Secret Weapon for Real Estate Agents in a Geographic Farm that is Scalable. And the big one here is scalable. I love things when they are scalable. And reason being is that honestly, I don't think we need something else on our, list of things to do. So we're going to talk about how to scale your real estate business without spending more time. Does that sound good, everybody? In today's world, the biggest luxury we truly have is time. So we're starting bright and early because I also value you investing this time right now. Today's goal is pretty simple. I want you to discover the simple 3-step system that scales. I want to dive deeper into the top-tier system with mailers. I want you to discover 25 mailer topics that you can use today. And I'm also going to give you a peek inside my catalog of mailers for inspiration. And because, everybody likes some free stuff, you're going to leave with a free gift if you decide to stay until the end. Yes, I am going to dangle a carrot and I'm going to see who's going to stick around. At the end, I'm going to give you all the comic mailers that I had created previously. So this way you can grab them, load them into your Canva account, and enjoy. So the difference. I want to talk about the difference. If you've attended my mailer bootcamp recently, you may have noticed that I do differentiate between 2 types of mailers. And if you didn't attend it, that's why I had the poll. Don't worry, we're going to talk about them. I do have the differentiation between lead generation mailers, meaning you're getting exposed to people that don't know you yet, a cold target market, and lead nurture mailers, Mailers that are going out to your sphere, your past clients, people that know, like, and trust you. Let me ask you, and put it in the chat, comment. I will try and, find the comment. What is the number one thing any coach will tell you to focus on? What is that number one thing that they tell you they want you to do? Your sphere, right there, right? Prospecting, lead gen, prospect, yes. And the place they ask you to do it is your sphere of influence. Why might that be, right? So right here, ding, 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 right? I need one of these like sound effects, I think. But yes, your sphere is, no matter who you follow, they will tell you the number one thing you should do is talk to the people you know. When you understand mailers, the way I share this with you today, you will not just find one, but actually two highly profitable and also highly scalable lead pillars for your real estate business. Not just one, but two. Remember, I did not start with mailers. I actually explored geographic farming, and it became my unbreakable business strategy. How many in here would love to have an unbreakable business? Especially when things feel a little uncertain, right? So let's talk first about the 7 steps to a wildly profitable farm. I want you to take notes. I highly suggest you have a notepad nearby, because if you want to retain things, you need to take some notes, okay? I want you to jot down those 7 steps to a wildly profitable farm, or feel free to, at a minimum, take a screenshot of it. How do you find your wildly profitable geographic farm? Step number 1, I want you to go to the United States Postal Service website, USPS.com, and I want you to select the routes for your area to receive your total house count. There are so many people asking, how do I find out the total number of homes in my area? And right there in step number 1, there's your answer, okay? Next up, I want you to select the same area. I got a nice typo in there. Same area in your MLS with the mapping tool. Most of you have a mapping tool in your MLS. I need you to know how to use it, okay? Try to map out the same area that your route is at the closest possible way you can. Then I want you to select the close date for the last full year, okay? Click for the results. Step number 5, check the results to see if there is an agent dominating. Next up, I want you to go to the calculator, open it on your phone, whichever app, type it into Google, and enter the total sales from the MLS for that year, and divide that by the total number of homes on the mailing route. Okay, so for example, if you have 50 homes that sold in 2022, and your farm has, let's say, 800 houses, okay? Just wildly making up numbers right now. 50 homes sold, 800 homes total, you're gonna get a number of 0.0625. Now, what I want you to do is multiply that number by 100, because we like to get percentages, which would give you an annual turnover rate of 6.25%. And this is how we're going to determine a wildly profitable farm. Step by step, follow the steps, and you'll be successful on step number 1. Remember, we didn't start mailing, we're going to start farming. Now that we have that, okay, all said and done, everybody's happy, we're going to move into the next component. Oh, before I do, let me introduce myself to some of you that may not know me. My name is Janine Sasso. I have a hyper-engaged farm of 3,500 homes and have added a second farm of 1,500 homes actually closer to 2,000 at the moment. So mailing out over 5,500 pieces at this point. I am a mom of 2 young kids. I did write 2 Amazon best-selling books. I am working on my 3rd. I recently moved into my dream home, and I'm in my company's top 5% as a solo agent. I am not sharing that with you to brag. I'm really just sharing that with you so you understand what I do for a living is what I help other agents accomplish too. Okay, I didn't retire from real estate to be here. I decided to build a business alongside my business. Here's the thing. I went through a lot of different things for my real estate business when I first got started. Okay, and I do think this was a very good thing. And maybe you went through this too. How many of you tried different ways to generate leads? Let me know in the comments if that was you. Did you go through expired listings? Did you try for sale by owners? Right? Because I did. I tried rentals. I tried getting my website to work. I tried absentee owners. I looked at divorce leads. I tried handwritten note cards. I never really got into the funeral homes, but I definitely looked into it. I looked into blogs. I looked at Yelp. I looked at marketing to investors with meetup groups. I looked at Popeyes. I looked at a lot of things. And again, I do feel fortunate that I tried so many things because I tell my buyers the same thing. Every no gets me closer to a yes somewhere else. Okay? Every no gets me closer to a yes somewhere else. And that's how I feel about it. That's how I feel about my way of going about my business the first year. That's how I feel about my buyers finding the perfect property. If they say no, it's okay. We learn something, right? However, have you ever tried too many things where it was just too much, right? Been there too. So let's get you on a very scalable path. What I'm about to share with you took me years. I am literally collapsing time for you right now. So make sure you pay attention because I wish somebody had hosted this webinar for me when I got started. I'm working personally on getting 10 signs in the ground at any given time in my geographic farm. 10 signs in the ground any given time in my geographic farm. This is also 2023. A market with the lowest listing count, and yet I am holding the highest inventory in my area for my zip code. Isn't that interesting? First up, let me disclaim something so I don't get in trouble with any of you. I don't believe in a get-rich program and promises or the getting something for nothing ideology. I do believe, however, in hard work, adding value, building a real and professional career, and serving people with excellence and dedication. Our programs take work and discipline, just like any worthwhile endeavor or professional continuing education program. As stipulated by law, we cannot and do not make any guarantees about your ability to get results or earn any money with our ideas, information, tools, or strategies. Your results in life are up to you and the amount of effort you're willing to put into succeeding. I'm going to give you a whole lot of ideas today, okay? But what happens with them is based on one thing only, you and your actions. So here's what we're going to cover today. 3 secrets, at least I felt like secrets when I started to go down this path of learning more and more things. First up, I want to reveal to you my entire hyperlocal system. The entire system I built and I use on a daily basis to get myself in front of people, get appointments, and secure listings. I just this week signed a listing in my farm. Today, I will be signing a second listing. Next Friday, I have an appointment to sign my 3rd one, and I'm currently waiting to hear back from number 4. So in less than 1 week, I will have 4 signed listings in my back pocket. And I'm not telling you that to brag. I'm telling you that because what I'm about to share with you is possible. Okay? But I need you to be open-minded. Secret number 2, we're going to dive deep into the first tier of my system, how to leverage mailers for not 1, but actually 2 lead gen pillars that will also allow you to get back your time and your freedom. And then secret number 3, know exactly what to send with an exclusive look into my mailer catalog. Yes, people have been asking to see what I do, what I send. So I decided to give you an overview of some of the things we have inside our catalogs. So let's dive in with the hyperlocal agent system revealed. What took me years of trial and error to put in place, it's explained here for you in about 5 to 10 minutes. That's it, 5 to 10 minutes. Please don't underestimate the power of following in somebody's footsteps. Somebody that walked before you. Do you ever hear the statement, pioneers take the arrows, settlers take the land? Or you can spot a pioneer with their arrows in the back. Okay, that's how I feel, or at least how I felt. I couldn't find somebody that would explain everything to me. So slowly but surely, I pulled together resources, one after the other, okay? I slowly pioneered what is now known as a hyperlocal agent system. And now I'm looking for settlers. I'm looking for people who are just ready to take this and settle the land, claim their geographic farming territory, and grow their real estate business. And I'll tell you later on why too. I'm sure you've seen enough of these pyramids around. This is not a new concept by any means. What do we need to do? We get somebody to know us, to like us, and to trust us. How many of you have seen this one before? Let me know in the comments. Just say yes. Right? Yes. All right. Nothing new. Now here's how this functions inside the hyperlocal agent. Mailers. That is your get to know you stage. What will solve most every real estate agent's problems? And the answer is more conversations. The question is, how do you get those? And the answer is more leads. And let me ask you one more time, how do you get more leads? And the answer is get in front of more people. And in my case, at scale. I want you to get in front of more people at scale. I don't want you to go door to door if I can help it, right? You may have to start there due to a concept we call time versus money. You're going to have to spend one of the resources, but eventually I'd like to get you into the system that scales. And we try to get people there a lot faster than what it took me because, again, nobody was out there holding my hand. The next thing I want you to understand is email marketing. Email is the like factor. There's a lot of you guys in here that actually came from me sending one email. Who is here from an email? Let me know in the comments, just type email. And if it's not email, type in the source that you came from. Camila says email. Brandy says Facebook. Wayne says Facebook group. Joelle on Facebook. Probably email. Probably email. Awesome. How do you go about building a relationship that will allow you to be known? You leverage the concept of what is called a parasocial relationship via email. When you are leveraging this concept of a parasocial relationship, it is very similar to becoming a local celebrity, if you will. Okay. How many of you guys know so much detail about a celebrity? I don't know if you're a fan of Taylor Swift, for example, okay? Just because I feel like every time I turn on the news, there's something about her, either saving the economy, her outrageous prices on tickets, whatever there is, right? But there's a lot of people that are building that parasocial relationship because you feel like you know certain things about them. Okay? And you get to like that person. And that concept we are actually using inside our email marketing. All right, let's continue on to the last part of it, which is events. For events, they know you and they like you. But how do you convert them? And the easiest way is an invitation or an opportunity. For example, a hyperlocal open house, right? So this system in itself is the backbone of the entire hyperlocal agent system. Get to know people at scale through mailers, get to like people or get people to like you at scale via email, and get people to trust you through events at scale. Let me know if that makes sense to you. So let's dive into the first tier of this system, how to leverage mailers for not just one, but actually 2 lead gen pillars that will allow you to get back your time and your freedom. Do you need more things to do? That is a very genuine question. Are you bored? Do you feel like you need more things to do? Not at all, right? Nobody does. We're all busy as it is. We're all overwhelmed as it is. There's a reason that mental health became a big, big thing because we're already all overwhelmed. Do you have unanswered text and messages on your phone? Voicemails you still have to return? I can tell you, I sure do. My current count is at 23 messages that I still have not looked at. Okay, now 22, because I just looked at one. The fact of the matter is it's not 0, right? And the truth is, we should honestly not overwhelm our customers. I don't think we should be overwhelming our customers. Unanswered text messages and not returned phone calls can make a person feel overwhelmed and stressed out. I would love to have an inbox that shows 0 things to do at all times. I would love to have my phone showing that I have 0 unanswered text messages to get back to. Fact of the matter is also, this is not reality. So what are you supposed to do instead? And personally, my answer will always be the same. Send them a postcard. Sounds simple, doesn't it? Here's a truth bomb for you. No other lead gen method brings forth this feeling of thoughtfulness. Let me know in the comments. Agree or disagree? No other method brings forth that feeling of thoughtfulness. Right? Kind of nice to get something in the mail that's a postcard. Now, our postcards don't look like this, but they do serve a very similar purpose. So, let's talk about what can you send. And I have listed 25 mailer examples for you. Number 1, a neighborhood update. Number 2, create curiosity mailers, something where there's an image only. Number 3, a frequently asked question mailers without the answers. Why? Because I want you to be the one answering them. Number 4, hit their pain points. What are they struggling with? For example, the money that gets wasted on rent, right? Number 5, a sports schedule. They last a long time on the fridge. They sure do. And even if they don't use it necessarily to plan a get-together for the game, they are planning like, hey, maybe I'm going to be avoiding going down to, the city if the game is a home game played in your city. Number 6, social proof mailers. Okay, those are for you to be positioned as the expert. Example, sold listings. Number 7, make them laugh. I just shared my very, very first mailer I sent not that long ago, which was for Thanksgiving, actually. Number 8, a testimonial mailer. Somebody has left you a testimonial, and you can then just leverage that one. Number 9, make sure that there are eye-catching colors. Something that stands out from the sea of white envelopes. Number 10, introduce yourself, right? You can introduce yourself as a local real estate agent. Number 11, create urgency. Your mailer can create urgency. I'll give you an example. I'm in the Midwest, and when the leaves start falling, we know winter is not that far behind. Okay? And the urgency of it is, don't miss out on getting pictures taken now before all the leaves are gone, because your home right now looks its best. And we can certainly use that for marketing it if you decide to sell next year. Yes, I see the typo. I had to go through it. Next up, we got show them your listings, right? Show them that you are actually doing business. Number 13, host a workshop or event, and please do not call it a seminar. Actually, we're going to be working on that in September, so stay tuned for that. If you're on my email list, you will start seeing a lot about that. It'll be a 3-week workshop of how you can actually, let's see if I can show it to you, get your own bio book published. So, actual book, I'll talk about that. Next up, we have show your value. Show your value immediately. For example, no hidden fees. Okay, as much as people do not like some of our competition advertising a 1% listing fee, guess what they're doing? They're showing their value immediately. We can take the same principle and we can figure out a way to apply it to our business. Because you and I both know that there are strings attached, right? Number 15, I have a buyer. And please don't lie about it. Okay. Number 16, a recipe. Personally, I'm not a big fan of them. However, if your entire sphere is all into cooking and becoming the next Julia Childs, maybe, that is something that will work very well for you. Number 17, celebrate the holidays. I would personally encourage you to not go with the most common one everybody celebrates. So maybe you want to celebrate National Chocolate Day. 18, impress them with your skills. Okay, example, sold in 1 day and sold for 100% of asking price are a couple examples. Number 19, show them an immediate benefit of buying or selling. Okay, this could be savings, especially as we're talking about interest rates. Okay. Number 20, make your mailer a true open house invitation. Invite them to an open house. Things are now staying on the market a little longer. If you can plan it, you can actually utilize a mailer to invite them. Number 21, spotlight a local business. You can show them around the neighborhood. And that could be a business highlight or an event highlight. Number 22, show that you love where you live. Look, there's another typo. I gotta get that fixed too. Neighborhood agent, right? This is your trademark. Become the go-to, the one that's in the know-how, the one that is in conversation with all the other local small businesses. Number 23, give them something for free. Why not? Pour into the relationship before you're asking for the business. Number 24, use pets in your images. People will respond to pets. Number 25, share your knowledge, right? Create a punch list, some sort of bucket list. Something fun. All right. So hopefully the pen is at this point burning, scribbling down all of these, or you took a screenshot. Let's move on, because that was a lot. Are your wheels turning yet? Now, can I give you the easy button to launch your next mailer? I want you to take a peek into my mailer catalog. There's a lot of people that have asked to, look behind the curtain, me selling templates. You will not see me selling templates. I contemplated, and that is just not the business I want to be in. I do not want to be a graphic designer selling my templates on any of these online platforms. I have much, much bigger plans. So here's a sneak peek of some of our Every Door direct mailers. And no, I cannot slow it down. It's a pre-recorded video. I'm so sorry. And it's going really fast towards the end. Feel free to rewind it, go back. Large mailers, targeted mailers, rack cards, flyers, business cards, social media posts, marketing graphics. And this was just a fraction of our old catalog, because we've added so many things that we now actually separated everything into each own category. We now have a catalog for only mailers. I now have a catalog for only note cards. I now have a catalog for only flyers. I now have a catalog for only resources. You get the point. Okay. Fact of the matter is, we've added so much marketing material that our members are able to take inside the mailer clinic, because your business is not just determined by a postcard. And this is one of the reasons you will not see me selling a bunch of individual templates. I think I have like 5 or 6 up, and that was when I first started out trying to dabble with things, and I quickly realized this wasn't what I'm trying to build. And you also see here a concept we teach called a AAA value model. And in this, you will find the same pyramid yet again. Awareness. That's your mailer. You're getting people to be aware of you and what you do for a living. Authority. We're building authority inside our email marketing membership. When I send emails, they are laced throughout with things such as, after a busy week, helping sellers get ready for the spring market. Okay, that is me indirectly telling them, this is what I do for a living. I compiled a list of the 5 things that I want you to do just in case, you're thinking about selling next year. You're building your authority. And then we're going to go down to appointment. That's your events. After they know you at the event, they might have come to your open house. They may have participated in one of your farming events. You will receive an appointment, which then ultimately, obviously, leads us to the B, which stands for business. All right, so let's move on. There's so much more I can honestly share with you. And let me ask you, would it be okay if I share this with you right now? Did you take notes? Did you take something out of the last 36 minutes that I shared that hopefully you can apply to your business? Okay. My goal is to create a hyperlocal network of agents who are experts in their geographic farm. Personally, my way to accomplish this is the mailer clinic. And I already started. You see here the referral form. You can find it inside my free Facebook group, the Hyperlocal Agent. That is my way of starting
my hyper local agent referral network. You see here, I just utilized this week, this map right here to find myself an agent after my clients sent me a message and said, I know you have an amazing network. We need to buy a house in Alabama. And I'm like, all right, Alabama. The first thing I do is I find myself my referral network. I want to find the people that understand what it means to be a hyper local agent. Connected with her, introduced them. I know they're in fantastic hands now. Why? Because a hyper local agent is an expert. It's somebody that understands their local market and the area and goes above and beyond for their client. We should probably pull up the entire manifesto here, what really a hyper local agent is. Along the way of creating the hyperlocal agent, growing my own business, there's really 3 things I learned along the way, and I would love to share those with you. Later becomes never. You will see that successful people make decisions. Who in here feels sometimes a little indecisive, right? Sometimes I feel a little indecisive, and I force myself to move forward and to make a decision. Because I understand that later becomes never. I've been at the later becomes never stage, looking from the outside in, seeing other people starting to have success. So instead of just sitting on the sideline, we're going to change our belief systems, and it became a do it now system. Okay, I got to-do lists right next to me here because these are my do it now tasks. Do it now, get it done. My list continues to, like, it's never a done list. Maybe one day I'm going to get there. But it's like, do it now, move forward, make decisions, cross things off, on to the next thing. Do it now. The other thing I discovered was the concept from investment versus expense. And that's a matter of collapsing time, paying down your ignorance debt. Everything that you don't know is costing you money. Because successful people invest and broke people have expenses. I just invested for my business into somebody for $8,500 for one thing only. He's just going to fix one thing inside my business. Reason being is I believe in collapsing the time, speeding up the process, and getting where I need to go a lot faster. I've been a pioneer in so many words, and I don't need to be a pioneer for everything. I want to be a settler. And there's people out there, and if I see that they are actually have done what I want to do, I'm going to collapse time for myself and get there faster. The other thing I learned is I don't have time, right? How many of you sometimes feel like you're scrolling your life away? Because at the end of the day, we all do it. But what I want you to figure out first is, how do you set a solid foundation of your business? And for me, this is geographic farming and making sure I have a system that scales for my sphere and my past clients. And let me explain to you this way. When I got started in real estate, they said, reach out to the people you know. All right, today I might know 10 people. I reach out to them. 5 years into this business, maybe I know now 100 people. After that, maybe I end up knowing 1,000 people. There's no way I'm going to be making these phone calls day in and day out to be connecting with these people one by one by one. And then you don't know how long that phone call lasts. Maybe it's 10 seconds. Maybe it's 30 minutes. And no offense to all this entire business practice, but I didn't find this scalable. So what I decided on was to build my foundation with something that scales. And then I'm going to work on everything else later. Or with everything else, I mean Facebook ads, circle dialing, whatever you can imagine that you can have as a lead generation pillar for your real estate business, that can all come later. My first thought will always be, how do I get my foundation in place that will absolutely scale as my business grows? And the answer that I believe every agent should adopt is making sure you have a system for your past clients, because they will be growing. No matter what you do, right? You can be the least productive agent closing one deal a year. Your past client database will be growing at a really, really slow rate. But fact of the matter is, it will be growing. This is a guaranteed growing lead gen pillar for your business. And the second thing I believed in was becoming an expert. And especially in a time where we are now talking about different compensation structures, talking about the lawsuits that are happening with the Department of Justice, there's a lot of reasons you should consider becoming an expert faster now than any other stage in previous times. And the other part that I learned, it's kind of like a bonus. Negativity is the cause of most or all evil. I don't know how to. That is negative. Be resourceful. Okay? You figured out how to get your real estate license. Be a resourceful human. Many of my Mailer Clinic members, they hear me say GTS. Google that stuff. Because if you are not being resourceful, you're looking for crutches. And I'm trying to empower you to really, really find the answers that are all along right there. I have a story to share with you right here. This one came in December 15th, 2022. And Bethany wrote, 2022, you have been good to us. Pics because I love these humans. They just added this beautiful, beautiful baby girl to their family. A huge shout out and thank you for this group and Janine Sasso for motivating, encouraging, and pushing me forward to have an awesome 2022 and generating 6 figures since joining the Mailer Clinic. I can confidently say I would not be where I am today without Janine. Cheers to a happy and healthy holiday season. Bring on 2023. She did not have to be a pioneer. She was a settler. She took what was given to her, and in the middle of giving birth to a teeny tiny human, in the middle of raising her preschooler, she also grew her real estate business. There are a couple other people that have gone through the program. Teresa, for example. The value is unparalleled. You have more going on than any other coach out there. I appreciate her kind words. She's actually transitioning from state 1 to state B before coming back to geographic farming because she understood the power it holds for her. Okay. Again, we had people coming from a Buffini program. Okay. Monthly items of value, one-on-one coaching. She's like, you know what? You have so much content and stuff. I think I can see my business fully grown first there and getting rid of that. It was a huge, huge compliment. I want you to keep the momentum going beyond this really, really short class that I just hosted. Okay. I really want you to become a hyper local agent with all the resources that I'm about to reveal to you. Does that sound good? Who is this for? That's the number one question I try to answer all the time. Will this work for me? And this is for brand new agents. This is for seasoned agents. This is for agents who took a break. And this is also for agents who are about to become licensed. With that, my way of growing my hyperlocal agent network is the Mailer Clinic. The more people I can help understand this simple principle for not just 1, but 2 lead gen pillars and instill those in your foundation, the sky's the limit. Some of you don't want to grow to a super large team, and that's fine, right? Keep the foundation and be happy that, it's not going to wash away. And some of you may want to go on and sell millions and millions of houses. Awesome. Start building your skyscraper right on top of that foundation. Here is a little glimpse inside the Mailer Clinic for you. There's a lot of things in there. Here's somebody leaving me a testimonial who said, "You never stop. So much goodness. I can't believe that there is some AI module in the clinic. I feel overwhelmed every time I see you cranking out more and more things. So much to do." Don't feel overwhelmed. Take action. Don't get paralyzed. Inside the Mailer Clinic, we do offer anywhere from 1 to 12 months of access to the clinic, 1 to 12 months of accountability and training, access to my mastermind, access to the Business Builder box. We got, and for those of you that don't know what the Business Builder box is, I'll explain that in a minute. Postcard templates. Again, I am not selling my templates because they are one tool, and you see so many others here. The buyer lead follow-up. How many of you have a buyer lead follow-up that you are truly proud of? Right? There's a lot of things that you can do inside your business. Then we got the seller lead follow-up. Having something that just makes sense for your sellers. Let's see what else we got. Detailed how-to funnels. Hey, feel free to grab my free staging guide. How many of you can actually offer something like that? Make sure you grab my free moving guide. Help, my landlord is selling. There's a lot of things we can offer when it comes time for our prospects to take the next step. $1 million listing presentation. How many of you have a listing presentation that converts? That's another one. It's in there. A pre-listing package. People are told all the time, you need to have a pre-listing package. Go create one. What if we can just give you ours? And then we got shock and awe packages. Some of you have seen them on my story. Okay, the shock and awe packages that I personally use, I use these. I didn't just create them to sell them to agents. It's personally a tool inside my business. So let me talk about your real estate business really simplified, because it's not just this one thing, right? Mailers is a big part, it's a big tool inside it, but it triggers a lot of these things around here. I call that a 6C sales cycle. Your job is to create awareness of who you are, capture them, cultivate them, convert them into clients, deliver an amazing customer experience, and at the end of this, capitalize on the transaction. Okay? Dekara is asking, what's a shock and awe package? It's my pre-listing package delivered to them before I even show up. Shock and awe. Stand out from the crowd. When they see you are being different, you rarely have objections to overcome. So create. What's the create part? This is where you customize templates, you build landing pages, you automate your emails, you select vanity URLs and actually convert. Okay? You create your marketing material. All of these actions are having one goal: creating opportunities. Next up, we're going to focus on the leads, the copywriting, using your words in a way that are compelling to your right prospect, where they're saying, oh my goodness, this is so true. I need to dive deeper. This is a connection point. We're talking about lead sources, online lead sources, offline lead sources. I want you to have a hook pond mentality. The more fishing poles you have in the water, the more fish you're going to catch. And this is where your growth plan steps in. It's time to grow. More leads was what? One of the things we need to accomplish in order to get into more conversations. More conversations we will need in order to do what? More business, right? Nurturing. We keep forgetting that this business is not a, oh, I decide to roll out of bed today and sell my house later this afternoon. Nobody thinks like this. Okay, there is a nurture component in place. In this case, a buyer lead follow-up, that doesn't sound like you're a robot. If you are still sending your company's nurture campaign, have you set yourself up on it? Do you know what is being sent on your behalf? Chances are you are shocked on how terrible that sounds because you would never talk like this. Same with the seller lead follow-up. If you are not set up on the campaign that you are pushing people through, if any, maybe set yourself up. It is quite eye-opening what is being delivered. And then we wonder why we don't convert. I'm not surprised. Get an open house game plan. Make sure the neighborhood events are done, right? There's email and video nurture sequences. It's all about your pipeline. If you have a leak in your pipeline and things are just dripping down, okay, this can be fixed. But it's your job to actively work on this pipeline and set it up in a way that is airtight. Next up, we talk about conversions. Conversions through pre-marketing packages. Okay, those are the shock and awe buyer and seller boxes. We're about to finish the buyer box actually. Buyer consultations, listing presentations, the seller and buyer book. I showed you the buyer book. Okay, I don't think I have the seller book right here, but I do have written a seller book. A customer experience. We want you to focus on what is life like as a client. Would you be happy receiving this type of service? Building in personal touches. And yes, also automations, systems, and processes. We call this our ASAP system. Okay. We can't be everywhere at all times. And if the global pandemic has taught us anything in 2020, 2021, it's that we need to have systems and processes in place in the event that we are temporarily unable to perform what we are supposed to do. If you are looking to really build a business, you need to make sure your business runs even when you need a break. And then raving fans. Follow-up plans. I rarely see anybody with a solid follow-up plan. Our follow-up plans range from 40 to 60 touches throughout the year. Seems like a lot, but it's actually a lot easier than you think. Past client events. That's a simple one. We do one once a year. Some come, some don't, but we're always having a good time. And then yes, we talked about the lead nurture mailers. That is the retention. So there's so much more. I could continue on and on and on and on about all the things that we're able to help people with. But for the sake of time, we're not going to go through every single detail, but I hope I showed you a lot of these things. Oh yes, the values unparalleled. We talked about this one. All the things that are inside the mailer clinic, I would love to talk about a little bit more. I'm a big fan of bonuses. How many of you have a rev share program inside your brokerage? Right? Revenue share, rev share, referral rewards, whatever you want to call this program. The cool thing is that we have created a partnership program inside the Hyperlocal Agent for our agents to share what courses and training programs they personally love the most with their fellow agents. Now you might think, okay, I don't want to share that, but let me ask you, would you go after somebody else's past client, right? The person in the office sitting next to you, would you go after their past client? Chances are the answer is no. So sharing something such as, hey, here's a past client follow-up system that designs a postcard for you, delivers a box each and every month to your doorstep. This is a simple way to refer somebody and yes, earn additional revenue. So we do have a partnership program. Next up, we added a Canva design course. When it comes to postcards, some people are a little intimidated, rolling up their sleeves, getting into Canva. The good news is you don't have to be a designer. You really just need to know some of the most important hacks to be successful. And if you are in love with Canva, you probably will find an extra bonus tip or two right in there as well. So that part is in there. Then we got additional coaches inside the clinic. Okay. You have Liana Weiss for What Not to Say, Andrew Clark for Organic Social Media question. We will give you the mailers, but really we want to link arms with you to build an entire business around the strategy. So that is in there, a social media coach and the sales skills coaching. We do have an entire 30-day geographic farming jumpstart course in there. Speed up the process and go through the 30-day sprint to get up and running inside your geographic farm and beat the competition to the next listing. It goes all back to create awareness of who you are and what you do for a living. Have more conversations by having more leads. And it all cycles back to doing that by becoming an expert in your geographic farm. So that one is in there as well. And then we do personally work with a milestone tracker. Everybody needs a goal. We have predetermined goals for people inside the mailer clinic to continue to hold them accountable and to continue to push them onto the next phase of their business. What's next, right? We start out easy. Design a postcard and hit send. Get your very first own lead. Get a listing signed. Sell that listing. Have a pre-listing package in place. Become an author, right? Do referrals. All of that is in there too. So if I had to put a price tag on that, I tried my best to be as reasonable as possible on all the things that are in there. And believe me, I've done coaching. I've paid coaches about $1,000 each and every month for 15 minutes of, hi, how are you? How was your week? And 15 minutes of, great, what's your plan for next week? And that phone call cost me $1,000. Believe me when I tell you, this industry is filled with fluffiness that nobody needs. You need templates, you need swipes, and you need to get into action. So totaling it up, I'll probably ended up at $76,000, right? Sounds crazy, honestly. After somebody has been in the clinic, they will agree with me. Now, for some of you, you might say this is crazy, and I'm like, I agree. I'm a big fan in making sure that, you know, coaching should never ever cost you more than an additional investment property, because I'd much rather be holding an investment property for $1,000 a month in a payment and actually get something out of it. That's just my personal belief, right? I could charge $19,000 for that, which is like a quarter of that. However, there was this wonderful lady inside the mailer clinic, and you guys all get to thank her, because she said to me, please don't ever forget where you started. And I promised her that I will not forget where I started. The reason I have this in here is because I have listened in on a lot of coaching calls from a lot of very well known at right this moment coaches, and what is working for them right now is what they're teaching, okay? Everything that they're teaching now are the walls of their business. They forgot to talk about the foundation. Every now and then in their presentations, you will hear a throwback of where did they start? And where they started was many, many times with direct mail, geographic farming, and some type of print marketing. You have to really listen for these little things. But they're teaching you now the walls without giving you the foundation. The walls need the funding from the foundation. You cannot build walls if you don't have revenue do that. You need to make sure your foundation is there. Again, I told you somebody canceled the Buffini. So for a lot of you guys asking, what's the mailer clinic? How much is it? I tried to really wrap it up with a bow for you during this short class today. What it is an all-comprehensive training program for agents wanting to dominate their geographic farm. Anytime during the year, you will see it listed at $5,000 a year. Why? Because I'm really trying to focus on getting people inside the mailer clinic during bootcamp week, particularly Reason being is it helps me to streamline the process to make everybody's experience the best it can possibly be. And because you showed up and you stuck around, I told you I'll get you the code for your bonus templates. And yes, they are part of the mailer clinic if you were to join along with hundreds of other templates. So they're all in there as well. So if some of you guys, I believe, are already in the clinic, you have access to these templates. And after 24 hours after this webinar, I'm going to shut down that pricing part of it. So it's up to you if you want to take action or not. Again, you are responsible for your own business, right? All right, I think we're back. Don't mess with the microphone is the lesson for today. Okay, so these here are the shock and awe packages that we talked about. And as you can see, it is different from mine, but it's all, customized to this agent, her brand and everything. Somebody asked, do you only do EDDM? No, I do not do only EDDM. For me, it's really about the mailing part itself. So you see here an image of somebody taking some of the tools inside the mailer clinic. This is actually our follow-up system that we do teach for just really making sure everything gets leveraged. Okay, so is it only EDDM? No, we showed you inside the catalog, the flyers, there is note cards, there's a lot of different things. So that question. And then I do use a local printer. I highly suggest you see what is available in your local area. Let me find my slides again. Not those. All right. If you only got one listing from any of our tools, trainings, and resources, I want you to ask yourself, do you think it would be worth an investment? And honestly, I do believe it would be a no-brainer yes. A no-brainer yes. I already showed you what it is, how much it is. But here's the thing. I really want you to understand you need certainty in your business. Geographic farming and the mailer clinic is exactly that. Your next deal is easier to find than you think. And I do think certainty is not social media. That is a pretty wall, okay? A pretty wall you do down the road as you're building a skyscraper. Certainty is you and your brand. It is not Facebook ads, it's not Google ads, it's not YouTube ads, it's not Threads, it's not Clubhouse, it's not Twitter, it's not Instagram, it's not LinkedIn, it's not TikTok. Probably should replace it to, it's not X. Isn't that what Twitter got renamed to? These don't belong to you. Somebody flips a switch on the back of that platform and all your accounts are gone, okay? These are not yours. These belong to somebody else. There's enough stories of people who have lost access to their social media accounts. And if, again, you decide to build a business on there, it might work for a little while and it might work really well for a little while. But if something changes, you're at the mercy of whoever is changing it. Because you didn't build a strong enough brand on most of these platforms, most likely. We are not the Coca-Cola of the world, right? We are not the Google of the world. We are not the Facebook of the world. We are small businesses. And with that, we should do things a little different when it comes to our own success. So again, I already told you it's $199 a month for 24 hours after this webinar, or $1988. By the way, the year I was born in case you're wondering what's up with that number, which is a $400 savings. I'm a big believer in it must be right. And yes, I do think there should be a guarantee because some of you guys just came on here and you didn't go through the boot camp or you haven't heard about me before. If you want to just test drive it and after 29 days, 23 hours and 59 minutes, you're going to tell me, I don't think that works for me. Honestly, there's your money back. Good luck. Please find something else. I know it works if you show up. And if you don't show up for yourself, I'm looking to create something that has a very high success rate for people that are actually taking actions. So do you think that becoming a force in your neighborhood can get you more business? It's a simple yes or no question. Do you believe that if you really dive into geographic farming and start becoming an expert, you can increase your business? Because I truly believe it does, because I've done it. And not because I was a unicorn story, okay? I'm also not selling you a service to do something for you. I want you to be very clear on that. I am not going to do things for you. I am offering you, however, an opportunity to learn skills that are going to stick with you forever, through the rest of the career, and yes, even beyond, even after the mailer clinic time is over for you, whenever that might be. So if you are looking to enhance your business, feel free to head over to mailerclinic.com. And again, all of these things are part of it. We talked about one component, which is the postcards. If you are looking to get access to all the catalogs and actually get the templates delivered into your Canva account, those are in the catalog. Hundreds and hundreds of templates. This is you building a business with actually a program that gives you meat and potatoes. We've talked a lot about meat and potatoes this week, right? But you have to really be the one who gets the crock pot out of the, basement or the closet, who dusts it off and who decides, I actually want to do something. This is your responsibility. This is your action. I'm not going to be the one doing that for you. I will give you the recipe. I will give you the manual to operate that crock pot. Okay, I gave you the meat. I gave you the potatoes. If you're just looking at it, hoping somebody is going to make you stew, then this is not for you. Okay? So again, if you're still on the fence, you're probably thinking one of these three things. You might be thinking it will be complicated. Believe me, I don't like complicated things. You don't believe you will be getting all of this value for such a small investment. And I can probably understand why you're being skeptical. Little backstory, I used to coupon. I do like a good deal. I truly do. And number three, you don't trust yourself yet to follow through. You don't trust yourself to actually turn on your crock pot. So if that's the case, you may need coaching. But I know that so many people who are just, trusting themselves to turn that dial a little bit are gaining more and more confidence to actually do it. And I told you, I am not a unicorn story. I didn't come out of the gate with a smashing success story because, everything aligned perfectly. I wasn't an early adopter by any means on any of this. Because many of them, they were early adopters. They've done something because it wasn't crowded. But now things change. I personally have 2 small kids and no full-time care for them. Still to this date, I do not have full-time care for my children. My work chunks are limited to 3 to 4 hours maximum a day. Okay? And I had to trust the process myself and just replicated the success in a brand new farm in a matter of 27 days in 2023. Trusting my own process to do it all over again. So because you stuck around, take a screenshot of this one. You're going to head over to thehyperlocalagent.com/P/comic. Do not ask me what that P is in there for. I tried to get rid of it, but you will need it in order to get to that website. Okay. www.thehyperlocalagent.com/P/comic. And then during checkout, it's literally like I put that together, put in there free_comic. And that should unlock these 4 templates delivered to you in a digital download. And it's yours to download into the Canva account of yours. You will need a Canva account. This is also very similar to how we deliver every single resource inside our catalog. So if you want the entire catalogs, they're all inside the clinic. Again, I am not selling a single template individually there. I think I have like 4 or 5 in my hyperlocal agent. I don't want to become a graphic designer. I don't want to start selling templates on Etsy or any of these platforms. This is not my mission here. Feel free to use them. Feel free to have some fun with them. But I'm not looking to sell individual templates. I want to build businesses. I want to build big businesses. Okay? And yes, there is a recording of this webinar. So if you came in late, there's a recording. And the mailer clinic itself is $5,000 for the year. For the next 24 hours, you do have a special pricing. And that special pricing, I'll show you in a second again. But if you're still watching, I do have something extra special for you. So sometimes people hop off, right? And I'm like, I'm a big believer in let me reward some people that are still sticking around. If you're good with that, say yes. So there is a monthly plan. By the way, I'll put it in the comments. You see, the mailer clinic itself comes with a ton of extra courses free of charge. And because these are digital courses that I recorded a while back, or as recently actually as a few weeks ago, and I'm about to add on to it yet again, they're on demand for all my mailer clinic members. And that is one of the reasons that I can make the mailer clinic affordable for every agent. I do not have to pay for 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 different coaches to hold your hands one-on-one. We do hold your hands twice a week as of right now on Zoom for live training sessions. 6 classes live delivered to you, where you can ask the questions, tell us what you're working on. We're going to get you through everything. And then everything on demand. So when I say everything on demand, I put together a little graphic that is just giving you a little glimpse of all the free courses and masterclasses that our members have access to. There's a lot. There's a lot. Our mastermind, crushing it with hyperlocal open houses. My #1 calendar mailer course is in there. A green screen course is in there. Video tutorials, time management, pixel courses, Facebook workshop, overcoming commission objection workshop, business planning, my Dominate Your Farmers Direct Mail course. Believe me, you will be going through this as part of the clinic very, very early on. And all these master classes are in there too. And we're adding another master class each and every month. So the next couple master classes, we're going to talk about the creator of this beautiful template right here. We're going to be running a workshop on how you can actually create it and make it into a book. We're going to be talking about SEO as a masterclass, hyper-local SEO. We're going to talk about a personality profiler, and I'm currently working on a Facebook ad strategist to come in. So all of these are just additional things that we're going to be adding into the clinic, which is really, really exciting. Okay. You have the option of a month-to-month plan, which is $199. I believe we have it underneath the video here. And then there's also the yearly option at $19.88. If you like to save money, that one is it. So again, this one is probably one of the last questions I'm going to answer is how do you access all of this, right? How do you get access to all the things I just showed you? And this is where you head over to mailerclinic.com. And then you see here your monthly pricing. If you are just dipping your toe, I'm a toe dipper when it comes to things that I don't know, I don't trust. I'm on the fence of, but I see the value. And as of right now, this is not a 12-month commitment. Now, I have never gotten somebody that just, in so many words, screwed me on something. And as long as I do not feel like people are taking advantage of another human, I will keep that plan there. But it's $199 a month. If you are a toe dipper, if you are dipping your toe gently because you've been burnt before, something isn't quite making sense for you yet. And by the way, this workshop, I will be pushing this one to the hyperlocal agent list. The workshop will be $197. So if you want to go through that workshop and test drive the clinic for 30 days, now is a really good time because this workshop will be delivered live in September. And at $197, if you needed a buyer book, it's a no-brainer. The monthly plan, you will get the business builder box with it. Absolutely, right? It is part of this entire system. You get the business builder box. You do get access to the course for 30 days, and it will auto renew. And if you don't like it, again, let me know. I've put so much value in there that nobody that's ever have gone through it is telling me, oh my gosh, something is missing. There's over 350 lessons inside the clinic, okay? Over 350. Believe me when I tell you, it is very, very comprehensive. And again, if you're like me and you're like, I like saving money, $19.88 for the year. Come Monday, we're going to be changing our pricing structure back to $5,000 a year. And reason being is I really want to focus on onboarding all the members together as much as possible. That is my goal. I do not want to be, enrolling people here and there and there. This is why I do it this way. So today is Saturday. We'll probably give you a little bit more than 24 hours because Monday is 36 hours away, right? So you got a little bit of extra time. But this one here is really something I truly believe in, something that can change your business in so many aspects. How do I know? It's done it for me, it's done it for others, okay? And you do not have to commit for a year at the monthly rate, no. Dip your toe, try it out. Mr. John says he's in, he's counting on me. Well, remember, I gave you meat and potatoes. I hope you have a crock pot. He's actually the one that said on Monday to me, Meat and potatoes, please. Yes, I read every single comment. One of the reasons too is I work with all of you guys personally, not one-on-one. Okay, don't confuse it with one-on-one. I don't do one-on-one unless you are a buyer, a seller, or my family. But I read every single one of your comments, get to know every single one of your businesses. You're not gonna not ever see me again. You're literally gonna hear a lot from me. So, all right. Elizabeth, 190 mine, so no commitment for the year. You're impressed that you remembered, see? You're welcome. I do have a fairly good memory, even a better memory if you tell me to come over, list your house for sale. I will remember your address over me remembering your name. So you just left a good impression. Okay. I understand $200 may seem a lot for some people right now. But that is now your mindset to figure out, is it an investment or is it an expense? That is you as a business owner. You need to answer that for you. And for some of you, the answer might be, I don't think this is right for me right now. Don't worry about it. I received offers that weren't right for me when they were made. And I received offers at the right time when it just made sense. You are your own business owner. You make the decision. And if it's not right for you, stick around the Hyperlocal Agent. Get all the free stuff. There is so much free stuff on the hyperlocalagent.com. If you haven't looked at it, go look at it. There's so much free stuff. Just this webinar, I gave you so much free stuff to just implement and go do, right? Sometimes an offer comes along and everything aligns. It makes sense. It's a good day because the answer is yes. And sometimes it's not. So don't feel bad about where you're at in your journey. Embrace it where you're at in your journey. Become resourceful. Because I shared with you my biggest 3 aha moments so far. Later becomes never. Okay, I have a lot of people on my list that are later becomes never people. Oh yeah, I'll do that later. Oh yeah, I'll look at this later. Guess when they're gonna look at it? Never. Do it now. Get registered, right? Will there be a recording? I don't care. I'm gonna register. And I'm really gonna cross my fingers there's gonna be a recording. I'm gonna do it now, right? People ask all these questions, but they're forgetting to take action now. The other one, investment versus an expense, right? That was a big aha moment for me. I'm always looking at it. Do I feel like it's worth it? Will I get something out of it? You will walk away with the templates that you are creating for your own business, right? Then we got, I don't have enough time. There's an entire section in there that actually talks about you gaining as much as 16 hours a week back into your schedule, right? And very good question at the end. See, John's asking, do I need to cancel my $7 monthly mastermind? Yes, but we will also do it for you. The Mailer Clinic comes with the $7 mastermind. The Mailer Clinic comes with the Business Builder box. If you have any of these 2 subscriptions, we will cancel these out because the Mailer Clinic includes all of these 3 things. And there's only 3 ways for you to get into a membership with me. It's either you pass part of my $7 mastermind. So if you're wondering why is it so affordable, affordability has been a pillar of the Hyperlocal Agent since I started. Masterminds, well, I'm not going to go on a tangent on masterminds right now, but masterminds are your way in to get the information faster before somebody turns it into a course. And because the minute it becomes like a, automated recorded course or something, it's not working as well as it did when it was released inside a mastermind. Okay. But there's a mastermind membership. So if you're part of that one, okay, let me know. There is the Business Builder box, which is my subscription box. You see it right there in the upper corner. If you're part of that and you want to upgrade, let me know. And then there's the Mailer Clinic. Those are my 3 membership levels. So maybe you are just dipping your toes and you're saying, I can't do the Mailer Clinic. Look at the other 2, right? Try to figure things out that you need in your business. All right, coming up on 90 minutes. So thank you guys so much for tuning in. And we want to make sure that, if you have any other questions, oh, Denise says, how do I upgrade from the box to the monthly plan? We can't upgrade, sadly. So we have to cancel out membership 1 and get you into the other one. So if you need me to transfer it, let me know. I know I got you on my messenger. Okay. Well, I hope I inspire you into action, Tammy. So nice to see you, actually, Tammy and not Thomas. I know you guys share profiles, but okay. Into action. I'm not here to hold your hand and tell you how, how it's okay, or, we'll do it tomorrow. I want you to get into gear. Actually, action. Here's the template, put your name and face on it, hit it to the printer, right? And get it out the door. There's enough fluffy coaching stuff out there. If you need a coach on mindset, it's not me, okay? What module are you supposed to start right now if you're inside the clinic? Onboarding section. Why? Because it answers every single question that you will have. Where are the templates? What do I do now? The onboarding section will get you through it. It's about 30 minutes of small little video lessons. How do you get your onboarding call? Yes, you're actually going to go into my calendar and we're going to have a conversation. Me getting to know your business. This is my 15 minutes of one-on-one time, because everybody's business is different. And the clinic is there for new agents, seasoned agents, agents that are just thinking about becoming licensed. Okay? Dip your toe. Tammy said she's gonna try the monthly mailer clinic. Well, we're excited to link arms with you. Again, I've done my fair share of coaching and I was done with the fluff. So if that is you, if you're saying, I'm done with the fluff, I'm ready for something else, ponder it. This is not this offer goes away the minute you leave here. Okay, I'm not a hype person. This offer is for you to think about for actually more than 24 hours, 36. Okay, and if you have questions, message me. I do have a listing appointment and I am showing property because I am an agent just like you, but I try my best to get back on my messages, my emails. It's not that hard to get a hold of me. So message me and let's talk about your questions. And other than that, mailerclinic.com is the magic hub where everything starts. And thanks so much for tuning in today. So